Hello and welcome to our show Youth Voice, whereby today we're going to discuss about the causes and the effects and the possible solution about the drug abuse which has affected many youth in the society today. And I'm Omar Said, and this is VT TV. And here in studio today, I have a rehabilitation counselor and the youth advocate who is going to help us to understand this issue of drug abuse better. In the society, how is it affected, what are the causes, what are the solutions, and welcome Mr. Victor in our interview today.
Thank you. I'm Victor, a youth rehabilitation counselor and youth advisor to the drugs.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Victor. Feel at home, and here there is some questions where we want us to discuss so that our youth there outside and the parents and the guidance could understand this issue of drug abuse. First of all, we want to know what is the drug abuse.
Drug abuse is using of drug or substance in wrong manner without the doctor consultation. That is into your body reaction or your body behavior. That's all about drug abuse.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Victor, in those drug abuse, there is a question whereby we want to know why many youth in the society engage themselves into drug abuse, or they engage themselves to the taking of drugs.
In our society, many youth involved with drugs due to some issues like stress. Many youth have stress that they have a mentality. If they use drugs, they will relieve stress. Then lack of education or information about drugs. Youth use drugs because they don't know the effects of drugs, or they say they use it like for their leisure times or for enjoyment, rather than they do not know that drugs that they are using is affecting their body, their mental health. Yeah, it's interfering with their organs. Then you use drugs due to peer pressure. In peer pressure, like social media influence, like we find most of the youth are using drugs due to the influence by peer pressure, social media, by seeing people drinking, or like seeing people how they are behaving with drugs. Like some say that it's fun because they feel like it is enjoyable. Like they do not know that that drug that they are using is affecting their body and their mentality health.
Okay. Also, we can see that in social media there's those adverts those commercial adverts which promote these people to engage themselves in drug abuse, whereby you can see some people advertise beer, the Guinness, those you see. That one, it also makes those youth to engage themselves in drug abuse.
Yeah.
Okay, now if those youth they engage them, or they take those drugs, okay, we normally know that the society is being affected. Now, what are these effects? The effects of drug abuse in the society. How is the society affected with those drugs abuse?
In the society where some people use drugs, there's a lot of crime, violence. Like you find that there's robbery because of drugs, due to the drugs. Like there's a lot of accidents in the society, and there's a lot of infrastructure in that society, because if they start using drugs, they do not think about to make development in the society, rather than they spend their time just using the drugs, that waste their time, waste their energy in drugs, they destroy their future. Yeah, so the society faces a lot of problems due to this drugs abuse and addictions.
And also we can add that drugs abuse also it promotes poverty, because you have seen that many people they usually they usually go outside, or like to travel to outside country to go and work there outside. But before you you get that chance to go outside there, or to get that passport to go outside, you must going under a medical test.
Yeah.
Now you can see you have gone there at hospital to go under that medical test, and you have been, the doctor or the results have been realized that you have been using those drugs and it have affected your health. Let's say you have a lung cancer, which is caused by those smoking cigarettes and bang. Also, those who are taking alcohol also being affected their health, their livers. Is it? So no, there you can see that you cannot get that chance to be one of those people who are usually travel outside country to be there to work there. And also you can see there's jobs like police, this GSU, KDF, they usually going under medical test.
Yeah.
Now if you want to join those army forces, you have, or those defense forces, you have to go under medical test.
Yeah.
And if the doctors or your results, it has been realized that you normally take drugs, you can lose that chance. So also it affects the youth and also the society. It will be low in the development about the economics, all of that. And also I have another question, which is about as the community it is being affected with these drugs. We want to know how this community or the society or the parents, the guardians and the schools. When we talk about the schools, we talk about those teachers who are usually talking to our children. See?
Yeah.
So we want to know how will them improve or make the rate of taking drugs to reduce. How will them reduce the drug abuse in the society?
According to the parents and teachers, they should advise their children about the effect of drugs. They should sit with their children and tell them that drugs have no benefit in their life. Like drugs just affect their body, just affect their life and destroy their life. But they should counsel their children, and then they should support their children in sports, in activities that could make them busy, so that they cannot get this chance or time to go to drugs. So teachers in schools, they should support sports and promote talents in schools to make the students to be busy, so that they will not be idlers. Yeah, that will help them to avoid drugs use.
Yes, of course, those parents, they have to play a big role on making those their children to prevent them from taking those drugs, as like to take them to school to get those orientations, those guidelines, to be taught, to be educated about the drugs. Okay, now we want to know the role of the government. What is the role of our government through this drug abuse? Which role do the government play?
The government have play a lot of roles, like they arrest the drug dealers, that they like drugs like cocaine, back. They arrest all drug dealers that deal with that drug. Then they promote rehabilitation center by encouraging that people in the rehabilitation center that they reform. Then in school they have promote sport activities to make the student to be busy in sports, so that they will not be idling. And then in homes, in society, they have promote tournaments, like sports tournaments, to make the youth be busy. Then they have open job activities for the youth, so that they will not be idle, of course. Yeah, so government have played a lot of role.
Of course, we've seen that also idleness, it will make those our youth there outside to engage themselves with the drug abuse. Now, the government, they have to create job opportunities so that those youth who are jobless or unemployed, they have get those chances to be in a track so that they can keep them busy. And also, I have seen they're outside at home, they're at the countries, the sub-counties there's those leaders, let's say the MPs, the governors, the MCAs, they normally makes or they organize tournaments, these football tournaments, so that those youth, who, especially during holiday, whereby those our children, those young people, they're not going to school, so they usually play football, play handball, those athletics tournaments, so that those youth they used to be busy there, so that to avoid them to take those drugs. That is a good thing now. So the governments, they have those roles to play. So also to arrest those drug dealers, as you have said. Yes. Okay. Now I want you to give the youth the advice on the drug abuse. What is your advice for those your fellow youth there outside who are watching you now?
My advice to my fellow youth that they should avoid drugs use completely. That if they have never used drugs, I can encourage them that they should not use it. They should focus on their future, their goals, and be positive minded and be creative. There are some youth that have some mentality that happiness found in drugs, and that is a lie. That there's a lot of ways that you can be happy without drugs. And then I can encourage for the youth that using drugs to stop it. I know there's a lot of youth that struggling to leave use of drugs, but my advice for them that if you have that decision personally that you have to leave drugs, that is your own decision. Then have self-respect, respect yourself and respect your decision, and stop about that all drug abusing. Stop drug abusing because it have no any benefit in your body, that it destroy you. Yeah, that's my advice to the youth.
Okay, thank you. And also I can advise those parents or their guidance there at home to keep these children, those young people away from this. You see, these phones in social media, because inside the social media there is a lot of things which always violate our cultures. You see those people who are advertising their drugs, maybe alcohol, bang, etc. It affects themselves, because if a child or a person sees something that it has been advertised online, he or she can see it as it is a good thing, and always you as a parent, you know that it is a bad thing. So make sure that your child who is at a young age, you don't allow him or her to have a phone at an early stage, because it will destroy his or her future. Now, the last question to you, Mr. Victor, I want to know the treatment or the rehabilitations which are available, and those methods which are those who have been already addicted, or those they want to use those drugs in future, they can use them so that to avoid that memory of using drugs and that addiction of drugs. What are those methods of treatment?
There's a lot of methods of treatment for avoiding using of drugs in rehabilitation center. That we have rehabilitation counselors that counsel the user about the effect of drugs and those who are affected by drugs, so that they can stop it. Then they have their therapists. Then you have there's a lot that's people that have mental health that have affected by drugs or body infection because of drugs. And we use hospitals, like there's hospital treatment for them to be treated, to be fed. Then we encourage them, talk to them positively, and then we encourage them to join religion like Muslims and Christianity, because there is no any religion that supports drug. Every religion is against drug. That is how we do.
Okay, thank you. So my advice also to you as a youth there outside who you are watching me is that if you have tried, if you have already addicted with the drugs and you are trying very much to take yourself away from those drugs and you have find it is very difficult, just find me wherever you are. Just call me in 013402 to give you a guideline on how to prevent yourself in drugs abuse. Thank you for watching, and as we know, drug abuse it is a major challenge in the society, but with the cooperation of teachers, parents, the government, and the students themselves, or the youth, we can fight for this situation and take ourselves or prevent ourselves from taking those drugs. Thank you for watching. You have been with me, Omar Said, here in VETI TV. Let's meet next time.